All right, guys, here's the deal. Let's get down on our knees. Hands. They're going to be shoulder width apart. Fingers are going to be spread. All we're going to do is the following, guys. We're going to do a push-up. We're going to come down to the bottom of that push-up, and I want you to see where your nose ends up on the ground. So wherever your nose ends up, you're going to get a little point right there. It's going to be the tip of your triangle. So you can mark it with some nose sweat, with a little chalk. Dig your nail in there. We're going to do what we call a little tripod, and a tripod is this. Hands are down. My head, the top of my head is going to go on that little corner. Okay, so I'm going to place my head on that corner. Now, I'm going to bring my knee to my elbow and my other knee to my elbow. I can actually keep my feet down at first, and then if I feel comfortable, I'm going to lift my feet off the ground. And I'm going to try to hold it there for like 5-10 seconds. The more you can compress into a ball, the better. And don't allow your hands to go too wide and too narrow. They have to be just right. So some people say, okay, go for, an arm or a lower arm to fingertip distance apart. Just, it's as simple as shoulder width apart. That's all you need, okay? Cool. Next step, head down, hands down, knees on my elbows, feet off. If I feel comfortable there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the following. Try to compress my thighs to my chest and lift my knees off my elbows. Notice how slow I was moving. I'm not doing this fast. If I do it too fast, I'm gonna roll over. If you roll over, it's not a big deal. It's just a little uncomfortable, especially if you get the wind knocked out of you. We could spot on this if you want, and the spot would be the following. Go ahead and get into your little headstand. We just have a person over here that would act as a wall. Now go for it. Good, and if he wants, he doesn't even have to go that high. Just knees, he's a show off. He's working, training awesomeness. That was really good, by the way. But do you guys see what I just did? I just stood in front, so if he happens to roll over, I'll just push him with my hips and say, hey, get back down. Is there someone here that you had a hard time getting your knees off your elbows, right? Can I help you out? So we're gonna do this. This is how we spot this. This is very simple. So go into that little tripod with your knees on your elbows. We're gonna go a little wider in your hands. Good. Forearm is gonna be vertical. Go ahead and bring your knees to your elbows and hold it. So no problem there, a little shaky. It's okay. Slowly there. I'm gonna grab the hips right here. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna think, drive the hips to the sky and come down slow. You don't have to go so high. So she went straight up all the way. She's a superstar. Go ahead and bring the knees down. I just want you to go 2 inches off your elbows. There and up. Good. And come down again. Come down again. Good. 2 inches off your elbows. Up. And then down again. Good. Can you go a little higher? Slow, slow, slow. Back down again. And rest. So, good job. Good job. Very good. You can clap. You can clap. That's cool. Very good. So, what was the difference there between the one you were doing on your own and the one I was helping you?
My elbows were wider. It was more stable stance.
Elbow was a little wider. I felt a little more stable. And what did you feel I was doing for you?
Making more stable at the hips.
Yes, more stable at the hips. And also, did you feel anything else? Nope. I was helping her just lift the hip a little bit. So how can we scale this business? Do we have some bands? Yeah, here, bands. Let's actually go for a little thinner band here. So I'm just going to show you guys this, but it's pretty simple. What I do is I hook a band in, put it down, put my belly in there, come down into my little tripod, and now the band is actually assisting that movement. The further I move back away from the band, the more that band will assist me getting my hips up. So this is something you can play around with and tinker with. But it's the same thing as you doing it on your own or having a spotter helping you out. It's just a way of assisting the movement. The goal is to start learning how to compress thighs to my chest and elevating my hips up and getting myself into a more neutral position. That's all it is. If you look at myself down here in my tripod, I'm pretty closed up. As my elbows or my knees leave my elbows, my back flattens out, and now I stand. It almost looks like I'm coming out of a soft front squat or something like that. Can you guys see that? So brace up, get my back flat, that's your hips up, and now we slowly extend the legs. Can Can you guys see how that's starting to translate a little bit? So we're going to start thinking about this slowly but surely. Next step, here we go. Same thing, tripod, knees off, close the knees, knees out, back down. As simple as that. 3-4 inches, close the knees, knees out, back down. If you need a spotter, get a spotter. This movement is slow. I don't want to see anyone rolling. That's 1,000 burpees. Guys, if you end up in this like survival position, fetal position, something went wrong, right? Be patient. Sometimes it takes a while for the body to catch on, right? That traction doesn't come right away. Start looking for it. It takes a minute. Start pulling, feel if it's pulling. I don't feel anything. Okay, I'm going to let back a little bit. Start pulling again. Do I feel some stuff? Okay, now it's starting to pull. Let me go slow. Don't get excited, because as soon as you get excited, you go in overboard, right? It's okay to get excited, but don't go overboard. And this is also mental control here. Now, we're going to play a little game. Can I go one leg up, back down, one leg up, back down? So I'm here. Knees off, knees together, one leg comes up. I want to see my toe. Come in, up, see my toe, back in, come down, knees out, and rest. That's the goal. One leg up, come down, the other leg up, come down. Notice that I said, can I see my toes? I want to be able to see my toes. This looks weird right now. Here, can I see my toes? Back in. Can I see my toes? Back in. Can I see my toes? Boom. That's my headstand position. If I'm here, I'm broken right now. I cannot see my toes, and most likely I'm going to fall over. You guys with me? Let's test that. Knees off, knees together, one leg, the other leg. Yes. Yeah, look at you. Superstar. Very slow movement, guys. Very slow movement. See your toes. That's okay. If you got one leg up, two legs up, can you now hold a headstand with 2 feet up? 5-10 seconds. Don't just crash down. Tuck down gracefully. Knees on your elbows. Step out. Get a spotter to stand in front. Hold your hips if you like that. Get it going. Did anyone notice that we're kind of leaning a little bit at the top? That we're not perfectly vertical? Why is that? Hollow? No. Yes, well, I'm hollow, but why am I leaning? Yes. When the base is wide, if I have a wider base, let's say I have a triangle right here, my center of mass to be in perfect equilibrium, I have to have my center of mass right in the middle, right? My center of mass is approximately somewhere here, somewhere, depending on who you are. We want that center, if this is my base, we want that center of mass to be right on top of the center. Can you guys see that? So what does that turn out to be? A little bit of a leaning tower there, which just puts us in a stronger position. If we took this to a pull-up, and we'll see this later on, if I'm at the top of my pull-up and I'm in a hollow, my toes are actually in front of me. Do you guys see that? I'm not hanging completely vertical, and it's because my center of mass in relationship to my anchorage point or to my support point has to be balanced. That's why we're there. Yes, we are hollow. Good job. But center of mass on top of the base is what's going to give you balance. So we see a lot of kick up against the wall, back against the wall, which is totally legit. But in order to start practicing proper handstand positions, what we want to do is we want to walk up the wall. And you've probably seen this a lot. Jeff Tucker does it all the time. And it's a great drill to actually get you going. So what we're talking about here is push-up position, hands to the wall, feet to the wall, sorry, start walking yourself up. This is just a little walk up. Notice I didn't even walk myself fully, but what we're looking for is, can I push through the shoulder, walk my hands all the way in, or maybe half a foot away from the wall, have my toes against the wall, and hold a nice hollow body position. Can I have the demo girl come in? Yes. She's a gymnast, superstar. So push-up position, feet to the wall. Now take a step up. Get your foot up. Good. She's going to be nice and tight. So this is the principle we were talking about earlier. Butt tight, belly tight. This is just a push-up position, a little bit more exaggerated. Now, don't move your hands, just move your feet. So she's going to move her feet as high as she can go. Go with your feet even higher. Can you go? Good. Now, do you guys see how we're starting to see a nice straight line from the wrist all the way up into the toes? Butt is still tight, belly's still tight. And here, we're starting to notice this shoulder active or pressing up into the ear. That's where we want to be. So now can you give that torque? Can you wind the elbows up? Yes, she got even taller. She compressed into that midline even more. Can you walk your feet up even higher?
I have to move my hands.
Now she has to move her hands. Do you see that? You go as high as you can with your feet without moving your hands to be able to accomplish this shoulder position. Go ahead and walk down for me. So that would be your first handstand against the wall. Walk yourself up until you get full lockout overhead. Once you feel comfortable with that, then you walk your hands in. And ideally, the walk-in would be like this. Go ahead and walk yourself up. Are you okay with that? Cool. So she goes. Now she got a little closer. She's going to be able to get a little higher. She hits that position. Just being able to hold that, that's great. Now start walking your hands in. I'm going to grab her lower leg. I'm just going to facilitate to make sure that she's comfortable. She has no problem. And we're going to hold there. Now, once she hits that position, we actually extend your hips a little bit more. Good. There. That's going to be your position. And she's going to hold it there for ideally 5 minutes. We'll sit here and wait. Tick tock, tick tock. And now I'll grab her lower legs again. She'll walk out. Good. And then she'll walk her feet down. So I want everyone to be, thank you very much. Give me a high five. Awesome work. Good. So I want everyone to feel comfortable doing this. Push-up position, feet up. Start walking your feet up. Do not move your hands. If you need a spotter, get a spotter to grab your hips or your legs so your belly doesn't collapse. See if you can get that belly tight, the butt tight. Squeeze the butt. Squeeze the butt. There, even more. There. See the difference? That's where you want to be. Do you see the difference? Yes. The butt? Yes. Now we go. And don't go any further because now we're starting to see the breakage in the shoulder. The shoulders will be pushing back towards the wall. There. That's where you want to be. So that would be your handstand today. Go ahead and walk down slow. So guys, I'm not expecting everyone to make it all the way up. I just want to see where are you standing today. If there's any deviation in all the points that we talked about earlier, stop. Find your position and then make your way up. So everyone standing around, you can't just be saying, good, 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 this is phenomenal. No, you're doing a bad job right now. Clean up. Let's bring you back. Now that's good, and now let's start working our way up, okay? Don't let people get away with that stuff. Yeah, look at this. This is a beast right there. Nice, Wes. I like it. All right, crew, come on in. I got a great question over here. I need to do this with a spotter, right? Yes, if you're a knucklehead. You have to know where your limits are. Just like in CrossFit, when you're redlining, sometimes, yes, you want to explore what's behind there, but a lot of times you're like, okay, let me just see if I can just stay here right below my threshold and then start pushing it a little bit. Same thing here. When you're doing your handstand or walking up, you know where your limits are. So go where you know you can handle and return. In a controlled environment like this, what do? You walk your way up. Oh, I can handle that. Good. Walk your way down. Walk your way back up. Oh, I can handle that. Let me go a little further. Great. You have to be like a kid. Test the waters a little bit. If there's a little bit of falling, it's okay. But it shouldn't be the knucklehead, let me just go all the way today because that's what I'm supposed to do. No, it's okay to take baby steps and then baby steps out. Work your way through those positions. Does that make sense?